everyone, Great Power 60 here. Yep, I got it all cleaned up, sort of. In the process of cleaning up everything, I have created a bunch of piles. And then when I found things to put away where they're supposed to be in their home, when I did that, I discovered that I had quite a mess to clean up back here. It does look worse than what it really is, honest. It really is. It's just a matter of putting things away. Sorry, I'm just moving my camera. Okay. Now, it does look worse than what it really is. These are containers that were in my closet. When I went to put a few sewing things away that was in the pile of stuff that I had, I discovered that a lot of my, some of these containers that I had stored in my closet in my bedroom for years, had a lot of mismatched places of things, or let's say they were in a box where I now actually have honest to goodness homes for everything. So as we talked about, I'm just going to turn you a little bit here. As I talked about, I do have to take the books out of that I haven't yet. I found a lot of file folders. I found a lot of unbelievable stuff that I'm never going to I'll never have to buy again. And I am glad and ashamed at the same time. But at least now, when I decided to start organizing and I actually put labels on things, like I was telling you, that white envelope is full of the old envelopes that that have the window in it that I didn't think I had any of. Look at all of those. I've got tons of them, and I found more in the piles that I was going through. But I also found some of these containers that require me to look at them and go through them. Now I'm going to stop you for a minute. Now that is my hallway near the door, and those are 3 boxes that need to go downstairs. One of them is full of Easter things, one of them is full of Christmas related things, and one is full of Halloween things. And the bottom gray one also has a lot of the Multicraft Store Clearance Center stashes of stuff, hoards of stuff that I've shown you in the past, pom-poms and wooden objects and all kinds of things. Anyway, they're ready to go downstairs. So that's my next step, is to take that downstairs. And by sorting through a couple of boxes that were in beside the closet, big boxes, like bigger than that top one up there, it was full of I think I've shown you in a video before of the hoards of stuff that I got for free from the Multicraft Clearance Center when they were closing. And a lot of that is in there as well. A lot of it can be gifted. A lot of it can be shared. And I have kept some up here, but I had so much I had to put it in that big gray container down there. So it's got a little bit of Christmas and a little bit of the other. So it's kind of a miscellaneous. But now I have an Easter box, a Halloween box, and the Halloween box has everything from stickers to papers to bags, any kind of embellishment items I might need to make ephemera, etc., etc., etc. I didn't want to be on camera, but I'm a hot mess. But if you recall, I had a couple of extra ones of these. Well, in all that piles of papers, not only did I have file folders and page protectors, but I had so many, what do we call them? Pocket letter sleeves like this. It is packed full. And the other thing I had lots of was the self-laminating and laminating sheets for my laminating machine. So I had to put them in one of these folders by itself. So let's turn around again. Sorry for the, you don't want to look at me anyway. Back to my favorite shelf here. As you can see, I had the word stickers. This was the page protectors and vellum and acetate. I've got that. But it also housed the laminate sheets, and it was just too thick. I mean, look how thick this thing, is full of laminating sheets and baseball trading card sheets, which we use for pocket letters. So I've got them all stacked up. So I've got my digitals, I've got my stencils, and I've got my word stickers, and I've got all of that. So, everything like that has a home. But now I have to come up with a storage solution for all of my paper bags. And I think they will end up being in a container, an empty container that I have that was in the closet, to put them all in there. When I started going through all the stuff on my desk, I thought I was going to have a complete heart attack, because I couldn't believe how much of the things I had found. It was like crazy. So now everything has a home. I have a few things to put back in the closet. I'm going to turn you around there just like this. And down here, that's all envelopes and paper bags and plastic bags and clear bags. It's all piled up there because I had so much of it, and it slowed me down. Trying to organize that slowed me down for putting things away. But as you can see, I now have space in my closet, and that is where some containers will go, and I will put a little post-it note on what each one is so that I won't lose track of it. I found a lot of wooden pieces, and I put them in a new big container. I just have to put, I'll put a post-it note on it for now until I get my tape from my label maker and make my labels. So yeah, I am pretty pleased. So as I go back here again, I also had plenty of wool that used to be Mom's wool. I've kept some of it. I've donated. I think I mentioned that before. I donated a big box of Mom's wool to a nursing home facility where they do crafts and stuff, and they really appreciated it. So I was glad of that. I'm not going to go through all the containers. I could do that, but I won't do that today. Once I'm all organized, I will do that. But just the things I found on the pile on my desk that required me to put them away in containers that I already have, I discovered that I had some containers that were just a mixture of too many things. I now have, I'm going to turn you a little bit, turn you down. I now have this empty container that had a whole mixture of different things in there, of craft items that I just, I would just throw in there. And like I say, most of it was hoards of stuff that I received from the Multi-Craft Clearance Center before it closed. I've got empty containers. More, it's filled with empty containers. I got empty containers coming out of the yin yang. Sorry that I'm a hot mess, but you know, you just can't be all pretty and glamorous just because you're taking a video when you want to show how clean your desk is. And I also found this absolutely beautiful paper, and I remember only having a couple of sheets. I don't know if you can see. Oh, yes, you can. Look at the embossed, and it's not raised embossed. It's almost like, I can't explain it because it's not textured, but it looks textured. Wouldn't that make an absolutely beautiful cover for a journal? So once I've got my room, I just love it. I love it. And I got that at the Dollar Tree, and I never ever saw it again. So, you know, it's kind of a specialty thing. I should have bought lots of them, but I didn't. Anyway, afterthoughts. So, I have a couple of things. Once I get the bags all organized, that'll clean up that whole floor. I've got a couple of things behind me to do, but basically I now have a clean, somewhat crowded, but clean workspace because I have a couple of projects I want to do. I also, on my list of to-dos, I also want to start a series of creating a journal. I know I've started a black and white journal, but I also want, that's an ongoing thing, but I also want to create a journal from scratch. Something that's not just black, I mean, something that I can put colorful things in. I have got so many, I've done a lot of mass makes where I've got tags and labels and card and journaling cards and ephemera and embellishment things to create a journal. So I haven't really done that on my channel, and I thought maybe I would do that. Now, I am pretty busy till the end of the month, so I'm hoping that starting in May is when I'm going to start my journal. By that time, I will have figured out what kind of journal. I mean, I did make my pirate journal. I have got my prayer card or faith journal. I've got things to do in that. So I've got my black and white journal, my pirate journal, my little journal that I think I showed. I can't remember if I did or not. In the beginnings, when I was just trying to get used to collaging and using different types of stickers and papers and stamps and stuff, it was kind of like a practice journal. So I've got that, but I've never actually made a complete journal. I've sort of got a lot on the go. So I want to start that in May. So by that time, I'm hoping, cross my fingers, hoping that by that time I will have some kind of theme where I can take you maybe once a week or twice a week, where we will attack it. So it'll be from the beginning. Now, I don't have a sewing machine, so I can't put fabric unless I glue it on. I can't sew it. So that'll be a challenge for me to, if I can't sew it, how can I embellish it to the point where it's going to look pretty enough without sewing? So that's my challenge for myself for May. That's my May project. So I hope you'll come along with me. I hope you'll come back with me. As you can see, yes, my little spot is a little crowded here. This is my elderly uncle it's one of those things that they make at funerals sometimes, as a memory keeper with a relative and their name and their birth and death time and stuff like that. I didn't even know I had that, so it was in some of my mom's stuff. He was a very sweet man, and I was very fortunate. A lot of my relatives, aunts and uncles, all lived into their late 80s and mid 90s. So, yeah, I've got a good ancestry line here. A few have passed early in their life, but yeah. Anyway, that was a little remembrance that I found in my mom's stuff. I also found some old receipt books from when my mom and David lived 6 months of the year in Florida, and that was these are dated 2001. So that's how long ago they used to have a mobile home down in Florida, and they would go live there 6 months out of the year. So that is there, and I have to shred these because it's personal information. I think it was their rental of their plot or whatever. So I am really, really pleased that I have organized myself well enough that I have a home for everything. Now, the only thing that is bothering me right now, I mean, like I say, I have a home for everything. I have a place to put everything that needs to be put away. Cardboard pieces, I have them kind of stuck in here. I think I'm going to take an empty box. I have one that's maybe 12 by 10, something like that, and I think I'll just stack them in there and put them in the closet out of here because I don't use them that often. You know, the cereal boxes and cardboard pieces that come with you know, your paper pads or things that you buy. I've kind of kept a lot of those, but they're all sitting there. They're in a place they don't need to be because I don't go at them every day. I want this shelf with all my pretty boxes and the very pretty folders. I want it just to be those things, and anything else that's on there should have a home of its own. So I had just started shoving it there, and it looks messy. It looks messy. So that's it for me for today. So this is the part 2 of cleaning up. I'm not going to really show you anymore for my room because basically you've seen it all. I've managed to empty 2 more containers, a lot of small containers that were in the closet full of things that I have brought over here, and I end up with, out of all the stuff, with a small little a little plastic container here full of things that need a home. I know where I'm going to put them. You know, I've got googly eyes. I've got what do we call these? Table scatter, I think. Yeah, they call it table scatter. This was from Valentine's, and I was thinking of Thelma because they have, I don't know, can you see that well? Lips in here. So they've got like white diamonds and pink lips and red hearts, or red lips and red hearts. That's what's in here. 2 sizes of the white ones. But I was thinking of Thelma because she was looking for some kind of stamp or something of red lips, and I thought of her. Every time I went through that big mess and I found cards, whether they were cards I received in the mail or whether they were brand new cards, all occasion cards. Some were Valentine's, some were Easter, some were birthdays, and so on. I have a container like this that's white, and all it has in it is cards. I do have a box down there of card making material, which is actual, you know, blank cardstock that you make cards out of. So I have a box down there full of that, but those are card making, whereas those are already cards made and received, and they're blank, some of them, and some of them I have received. So yeah, so things like this. I mean, I've got, you know, I've got these tagged, labels. These are price on label swing tags, they call them. I know I've got miniature ones somewhere. These are small. These are really small. They're probably one by 1.5 inch. I'm gonna guess. I don't have the right glasses on to see. I don't even know if it says how big they are or not. I know I'm going on. I should be saying goodbye and see you next time. No, it doesn't give. It doesn't give. It just says 40 pieces. No, it doesn't give the size, but it looks like 1 by 1.5 inches with the string on it. So I've got a folder over there for labels, but these kind of labels I don't have. So chances are these are going to go in my cupboard where I keep all of my sequins. I remembered the word. Where I keep all the sequins and beads and things like that. I had picked this up a couple of years ago. It's a lock with a vintage lock with the key, with the vintage looking key. I have got more of these brads that are in the shape of balloons. I've got some in the shape, all kinds of shit. And then I've got, from one of my hauls earlier, these are paper clips. They will come out of there and go into a container. So, you know what I mean? I have a place for everything now. I just have to put things away. But my biggest pile is on the floor right now. And like I say, they're everything from big envelopes. I'm talking about mailing envelopes, big envelopes, plastic bags, paper bags, all occasion bags, special occasion bags, you know, that you get at the dollar store, the big occasions. So I have to kind of put those in little piles, you know. And paper bags, like lunch bags that we used to use. And like I say, my clear bags. And different occasion bags, as I said, you know, Halloween, Valentine's Day, you know, the clear bags for kids' goodies to put in and things like that. All of that is piled up there because I found a lot of it in this pile. So I need to, it's all bags, but now I need to sort them from, you know. I don't need to explain again. I am just so happy that when I find a pile of things, I already have a home for them. I've been sort of smart enough to create boxes, envelopes, containers, whatever it is. I have a home for everything, and I'm really, really pleased about that. And that's it for me. That is the end. I hope there will not be another mess to go through again. Although you never know, because I still have some containers in my closet in my bedroom. But I'm not going through those now, because everything has to be in here. Everything has got to be in here, and my closet is full. But I think we'll go through it one day. I think we'll go through each of the containers because they're all labeled. I've got wooden things. I've got wool. I've got ribbons, all kinds of ribbons. And I've got Christmas things. I said wooden things, didn't I? I'm repeating myself. Okay. Stop now. All right. If I don't stop videotaping this now, I'm never going to tackle that pile. Once that pile is gone, my floor, I mean, I'll have so much room in here. I still have that shelf to tackle. That's been my catch-all shelf where I've put things. We'll tackle that someday. So maybe I will have one more organizing video of that shelf, because the one behind me that you've seen many, many times is well well, or I know where absolutely everything is on here. And like I mentioned in my other video, I have books down there that now need to go over onto that shelf where all my magazines and things like that are, so that anytime I want to create something and it has a theme, like if it's botanical, if it's I don't know, whatever. Right now I can't think. I just realized what. Sometimes I get squirrel going on in my head. Yeah, but this is perfect right here because I know where every single thing is. So once I take the books out of there, and I'll be able to put all the envelopes, mailing envelopes, and used to be reused envelopes, and my clear bags will all go in the closet. Yeah, it was a big job, but you know what? I'm almost done. Well, I'm almost done with the pile that was on my desk. Okay, that's it. Thanks for joining me. Oh, I have noticed a few new people coming to my channel because of the craziness that I had. My absolute horror, confessions of a craft hoarder. I am a craft hoarder, and like I said, it's been by accident. You know, when I would, and there's no excuses here, but I do have to kind of put this in. I do have to qualify. When I was caring for Mom for those 8 years and I was crafting, I would have part of a craft room set up in my bedroom. For those of you who knew, some those of you who have been with me for a while, you know. Then Mom didn't like being alone in the living room, so I set up a craft area in my living room where I would try sometimes at night. Most of the time I left it there to continue doing crafts and videos. Sometimes I would bring it back into my room and it would go back and forth and back and forth. And then things got mixed up and things got lost. And I ended up buying more and getting more and so on and so forth. And it just piled up. And then, like I say, for those of you who are new, we had in my city a place called Multi-Craft Store. It was a wonderful place to find things you couldn't find at Dollar Tree or Dollarama. And yeah, a little bit more expensive, but sometimes I would get great deals on 12 by 12 single sheet papers. I mean, pads as well, but they had boxes and boxes of single papers. And I would go because sometimes I could get 10 for $3, 10 sheets of paper for $3. And they were, you know, good brand names. Some of them I didn't know. Some of them I learned over the years, like Graphic 45, really, really cool papers. And I ended up with just piles and piles of 12 by 12. I still have piles and piles of 12 by 12, but it's diminishing because I've been using up. I haven't been buying. I think I bought a paper pad from Michael's when it was on a hot buy. Maybe I bought one last year. I don't recall, but I've been, you know, getting away from it because I got to use what I have. So, but the Multi-Craft Store, when it was closing, and I knew the lady, and she knew Mom really well. Mom used to love to go and see her, and she would, you know, chat with Mom while I was going through sale items and things. And when they were closing, they were giving away a lot. Or they would ask you to buy something. So I would buy something for $5 and end up with boxes of items that either I couldn't get anywhere else, or they were one-of-a-kind items, things like that. And I ended up with a lot. And I had 3 boxes of 3 by 3 U-Haul boxes. that I filled with a lot of stuff that I had received that I had no place to put it. And I'm still finding things. I'm still finding things that I didn't realize I had. And I had donated those 3 to the Boys and Girls Club, I think it's called. Girls and Boys? No, Boys and Girls Club. Um, in my city here, I donated 3 boxes full of various craft items. Everything from, they had wooden pieces that you could paint, like bird houses or Christmas decorations that you could decorate, things like that, pom-poms, pipe cleaners, tons of stuff. To go through it all, I wouldn't remember. And I donated a lot. And I did donate the wool, Mom's wool, when she stopped knitting a couple of years ago. And I think last year I took one of the quite large containers full of wool and donated it to a nursing facility where they have crafts, and the wool would have been very handy for them. So I've donated quite a bit, and feel guilty, I think, a little bit that I still have so much more. But those boxes are going downstairs. I do have tons of boxes downstairs that I need to go through, but that will be one at a time. Once I take out my marker and put Halloween, Easter, and miscellaneous, then when I go downstairs, when I'm all, when I've got nothing to do in my craft room, when, that may never happen, but when, a day when I want to go down, I'll bring a box up, I'll go through it, see what I can donate, see what I can send in Happy Mail, maybe in a swap. We've got lots of plans for the channel, and I'm talking way too long. I am so sorry. Anyway, for those of you who are new, yeah, I'm a craft hoarder. And even though I've donated a lot, I still have a lot more. So that's it for me. Hopefully it'll be a while before we do any more craft organization. I may share in my videos from time to time how I store things, like how I store my smaller Thinlit dies, and how I store my Tim Holtz dies, the old ones that I got at the Multicraft store that I've only tried once, and they're huge and they're old. Yeah. Okay, I think I've covered it all. I think I have no excuse for my craft hoarding, but I am very, very pleased that I have what I have in order to do more creating. So, we know that my word for this year is hope. My secondary word is experiment. Now I'll be able to take some of these envelopes, plastic bags, and experiment in creating signatures, pages in a journal, stuff like that, things that I want to try. I have some stamping ideas that I want to try, some stenciling ideas I want to try. So there's a lot of things I've written down. That's why I have so many projects, and sometimes you get quite a diverse amount of videos from me because of my, crazy need to share the experiments, good or bad, whether they turn out or not, and your wonderful stories that in your comments that you share with me as I go through my crafting struggles. And that's it. Okay, I gotta go. I really gotta I keep looking at that pile of bags and clear bags and papers and envelopes and saying, get off your butt and get to it. All right, we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.